Welcome to Conversations with Educators, where we bring educators from across the country to talk about topics like college and career readiness, graduation tracking, teacher growth, assessment coordination, and more. Let's get started.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. We wanted to say, first of all, welcome for joining us today. We're super excited to be here and spend some of our lunch hour with you. At least it's noon where I'm at, so I thought we would go ahead and get started. My name is Jennifer Knipp, and I've got some colleagues with me today. But first, I wanted to just let you know that what we're going to focus on today is how counselors can get the most out of pathways in a particular area. That's a part of this webinar series that we're doing. So we've titled our time together today, Counselor's Toolkit, Pathways Pro Tips. So you're going to hear from some folks who work within the Pathways platform every single day, and they are the best sources for utilizing the platform to meet the needs of our counselors and even some administrators out there in our districts. If you're new to Pathways or you haven't yet had a chance to learn what we do with this tool, it is a superb tool for tracking and monitoring graduation requirements and then some. It allows counselors to really streamline that process of monitoring requirements by diploma type, for example, CCMR indicators, programs of study and endorsements progress, just a few areas that we're able to support our counselors and our districts in. And then one very useful benefit, one huge benefit of using Pathways for that tracking and monitoring lives in the reports section of the platform. So the reports available really tie up or wrap up all that data and information to provide a bigger picture, if you will, of a district's progress, whether it is by graduation year, cohort year, or maybe a special pop, which Lisa's going to get more into with you. So okay, there it is. So today what we're going to do is go ahead and introduce ourselves quickly. Then we're going to offer that show and tell piece where you'll get to see some screenshots of some of our favorite reports and those reports that we talk to districts about quite a bit, whether we're introducing the product to them or on our customer success side. And then we're going to wrap it up with a Q&A session. And that's really where we would love to hear from you guys. There should be a Q&A feature within your, what you're looking at right now so that you can ask some questions. Craig is going to monitor that for us as we work through today. And he'll even be able to answer some things if you have some questions right there in that Q&A feature. And then at the end, if there's anything else that you want to know about, happy to help you out there. And we'd also love for you to provide us some feedback. Maybe you can let us know what you use, the reports that you find the most useful, or the way that you have found they strengthen what you're doing there in your district if you use that. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Jennifer Knipp. This is my starting my fourth year here at Education Advanced. I'm one of the account executives for Pathways. And I'm a former high school and district administrator, both. I was 22 years, almost 23 years in before coming here. And then Lisa Tunnell is going to walk you through the reports. She is everything Pathways and is going to be able to show you some really great benefits and how the intention of those reports and how they might help you out there in your campuses every day. She's a former CTE administrator. She's a total expert in all of that. And then, oopsie, so sorry, that is me. And then Craig is also with us. Craig is a phenomenal customer success manager here at Education Advanced. He's also a former school administrator, which most of us are. He's a great resource, a great help to our districts across the state. So let's see if I can not click through 15 slides. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with Lisa. Lisa, if you want to just walk us through this, and then I guess you'll just have to let me know when I need to advance.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Jennifer. Okay. So we've got 5 reports that we're going to visit about today. It's hard, honestly, to pick 5 of our favorite reports to talk about. Pathways has such wonderful data, and our reporting features are pretty robust. So I'm going to have to go kind of quick, I guess, to make sure that we stay within our time requirements today. But the first report that we wanted to talk about today is the graduation diploma requirements report, and this is available in all instances of pathways. It doesn't matter what state you're from. You're joining us today, but the reason that we really like this report is that you can filter this down by caseload or by graduation year or by flag, whatever group of students that you're really looking to hone in on, and it shows you deficiencies. So we do highlight some basic deficiencies for you, but really if you're looking for something specific, you can look. There's a filter here where it says just under view report, you can show specific courses less than a certain number of credits. You can add additional filters here. And by clicking that go button, you can look to see if you're looking for a specific local requirement course, or if you're looking for certain kids that have less than a certain number of credits in a certain area of study, you can filter that specific in this report. And then it's going to show you deficiencies. So if you're looking for kids that have fewer than 4 English credits, or fewer than APE credit, or fewer than 2 fine art credits, or whatever it is, you can find those kids in this report. So if you are like, gosh, I don't know if we have kids that are missing an algebra credit, you can find them. And we also show in progress credits on this report. So if you can see, there's a couple kids in this report that have a slash, and so it's showing you earned credits and in progress credits. So without having to look at those kids' transcripts or go to their graduation worksheet, you'll be able to see, oh, they don't have the earned credit, but they do have in progress credits. So then you don't have to go in and fish and find those courses. You can like cross them off your list. It's okay. It's in progress at the moment. Or if you wanted to go in and see what their grades are, you can do that, but you can see right here that it's in progress already. You can also add to the report a GPA filter. So if you want to see kids that have lower than a certain GPA, you can see that as well. So it's kind of a quick glance to see like at risk or deficiencies, or kids you should keep an eye on or send out some additional supports for, things along those lines. You can filter it by specific diploma types, and you can add those specific requirements for those diplomas as well. So kind of a handy filter for like a one-stop shop, a one-page view for those deficiencies that you're looking for that might need some extra attention. Craig, do you have anything that you'd like to add about that report before we move on?
You read my mind, Lisa. I was just about to jump in and say also, you can get as granular as you would like with that particular report in case you need to do like a GPA audit, a credit audit. But what's also nice is you can export that to Excel and customize or filter that even more than you want to, that you need to, in case you wanted to share it with someone in your district, maybe a special ed person, director, anything like that, that may not have access to pathways. So it's a very useful report.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks for bringing that up. The exporting capability is definitely quite useful to share with others as well. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, this is my all-time favorite report for Texas users. I love the versatility of the CCMR report. Definitely can't fit it all on one page because of the million CCMR indicators, but the reason I like this report so much is because at a quick glance, you can see why or why not a student is CCMR met or bonus. So you have the ability to find a kid or a group of kids, and then by looking at the columns, you'll be able to see, oh, okay, this kid is or is not CCMR met or bonus because of the indicators, including their IBC and CTE course alignment status, which is not on this screenshot because it is a few columns over to the right. But it does allow you to filter, again, by using those filters at the top, and also within product, if you click on the column that you are most interested in, it will filter that column for you. So you can bring up all of your SAT past students, or you can bring up all of your IBC students to the top. And so you can kind of group those students where you'd like to see them. So if you want to see all the kids that haven't met TSI or haven't met via IBC or et cetera, you can group them that way. Like Craig mentioned about our previous report, you can also export it to CSV and do whatever filtering you'd like to do in CSV, but you can do a little bit of that within product as well. One other feature that I really, really like within product is that once you've done whatever filtering you'd like to do within product, maybe you want to look at a specific caseload or just a specific flag or a cohort, you also have the ability to select certain students within the report itself. So let's say I only wanted to look at Patsy, Jerry, and Guhera. I can select those students, and then I can click that View Selected button, and it's going to actually give me a listing of those students on the left-hand side, and then I can quickly navigate among those students, among those their worksheets. So I could click on their worksheet and then navigate back and forth among that listing of students. So even if you've got 20 or 30 students that you'd like to navigate among, it's going to keep them open for you on that left-hand side. So it makes the navigation among the students in the report really, really handy. So kind of a quick tip for navigating among those kids and also kind of filtering the report for you there. Okay. Build your own. This is also a report.
Lisa, before we move,
Yeah, go for it.
before we moved on from CCMR, we had a really good question in the chat that
Okay.
I think you could help address. It says, if a student met CCMR through Texas College Bridge, how do we code that for them to show CCMR complete on this report if it is not pulling from their SIS?
Okay, I'm so glad you brought that up. So we do also have the ability to hand mark that within a student's worksheet. So if it's not pulling automatically from Skyward, which we do want it to pull from Skyward. So if we're pulling that CP code from Skyward, it should be showing. But if that's not the case, we're not, maybe it's not being pulled from that code, or we're not seeing that code. We can hand mark a student's college prep course on their worksheet. So let's say you have a handful of kids that have taken the college prep course, and you'd like for them to show as earning college prep credit. You can go into their student worksheet, check the box next to college prep math or college prep English, and save their student worksheet. That will then indicate them as having earned that college prep credit, and it will show them. Now, if they, because of the TEA requirements, they're not going to, it will show them as having met that requirement, but they won't show as college prep or CCMR met until they're actually met. So they will have to have earned both math and English to be met, but it will show that they have met that requirement on that report once that's been marked. But thank you for bringing up that question. That's perfect. Yes, you can hand mark that on the worksheet. Okay, build your own. This is another report that is available in all instances of Pathways. Currently in this screenshot, this is the Texas version, but we do also have an Indiana version, as well as Georgia and every other instance of Pathways. But this shows every attribute that is available on the student worksheet. So this can be basically a bespoke report, depending on maybe what you need for that day. If you're reporting on something or presenting or whatever you need, you can create the report based on the attributes that are important at that moment. So if you needed a report that shows students in your caseload that have earned an IBC and their, their TSI status, you can create that. And so once you've created, you can export it just like most of our other reports, make it what you need it to be, and and it should be useful for you in that way. Like I just mentioned, it's also available in Indiana. This becomes particularly useful when you're working in box 2 and box 3 and you need some more granular indicators of those things. Those are available on this build your own report. You can click every indicator available on the student worksheet should you decide to do so. And you can make it for every student or just a few if that's what you desire to do. Make it what you need it to be. Okay, this report is also available in all areas of pathways or all instances of pathways, but it is quite useful for Texas counselors in that it may save you quite a bit of time when you're reporting on the amount of time you spent in each counseling domain. It's also available in Indiana when you're reporting on how much time you spent with your students. So from the lens of Texas, if you are using your student logs on your student worksheets, like I met with X student on this day and X student on this day and X student on this day, it automatically reports or saves to this report. You also have the ability to use that additional counseling activities button here on the screen where you can view and record a new activity. This does not have to be associated with a student. So let's say you administered the SAT exam for 4 hours one day, or you had planning activities for SEL, SEL lessons or something along those lines. You can add in those activities as they pop up and associate them with the correct domain. It will total those hours for you, and then you can generate this report so that it does total the amount of time that you spent in each domain. And then you're not having to create additional reports to generate how much time you're spending in each counseling domain. In Indiana, it does allow you to total the amount of time that you're spending with each student. And so you are generating a report for the amount of time spent with students as well. You have the ability to mark the amount of time with each student log. So hopefully a time saver there, so you're not doubling the amount of work when you're totaling student times there. Easy tracking that way. Okay, FAFSA. This is also available in all instances, but we see more use and potentially more time savings in Indiana, where we see counselors that are having to track the parent contact dates. So with this, we now have the ability to track FAFSA completion, also the waiver status, and then now the ability to track these contact dates. So just like that last report, this can be tied to that student log function, where on the worksheet, you have the ability to check a student log as a parent FAFSA contact. And if you utilize that function, it will automatically track here for your FAFSA form usage. And then when you go to the FAFSA reporting, you'll be able to see how many times a student parent has been contacted regarding FAFSA in any manner, whether it be phone call, email, etc., whatever you logged on your contact form. And then you'll be able to see how many times they've been contacted, etc., and whether at that point you can mark them differently on the FAFSA waiver. So you'll be able, at quick glance, hopefully on one screen, you'll be able to see what every student in your caseload or whatever grouping you're looking at, what their FAFSA status is, and if any action needs to be taken there. So hopefully time savings there for FAFSA tracking in Indiana. It is also available in Texas, but they don't currently have that parent contact requirement there. There we go with some of our favorite reports. I will say we do have additional reports available, and we love data. We love grouping it into reporting. So we could probably talk all day about reporting. And at this point, we'd love to answer any questions about those reports or any other ones that you'd like to see. Craig, how are we doing on questions?
Right now, we just have the one, so feel free to put in the Q&A your questions, or if you have any reports that you have found useful that we did not mention, and we'll discuss those. Lisa, I just had a question come in, and I'll let you address this. It says, does this program pull from a sender? So you may explain what it does pull and what it.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for answering that or for asking that. We do integrate with a sender. We pull several files from a sender and display within Pathway. So we pull student data and grades data, as well as IBCs and additional attributes from a sender. That's actually one of our most robust integrations at this point. And it displays on a regular rotation, as far as on a regular schedule as far as when the data displays. So some of those attributes come in nightly, some of them come in weekly, and some of them come in on a 3 to 4 week schedule, so that that data is refreshed on a regular basis. And we work with the region service centers to make sure that the data is what you would expect to see within Pathways. So yeah, long story short is yes.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Craig, is because you work so closely with the districts across the state once they partner with us, and you follow up with questions and support. Is there a particular report that you get the most feedback from, or the most, yay, I love this report, I can't wait to use it from our districts? Is there any in particular?
I'll tell you what, two of the probably ones that I get the most feedback on are the Texas diploma requirements, because everybody wants to do a GPA check, status, those kind of things. But also not just counselors on the CCMR report, but your CTE directors love the CCMR report because they can pull that information alone. So not just the counselors. And then I think one of the ones that is valued the most is the build your own, because once you have all the ancillary data pieces within Pathways, you can get as granular as you would like. And like some counselors have even said, well, this kid has a high GPA, but maybe a low SAT or ACT test score. So they can go in there, run that report with those filters and say, hey, SAT's coming up, another time for ACT's coming up, generate an email list about those that are close to passing and market just those kids on who's coming up. So there's a lot of nice little features in the build your own report that.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds great. Yeah, I hadn't heard that yet. That's a great way to use that particular one. Okay, so I guess what we'll do is, while we're waiting just a few more minutes to see if anybody else wants to ask anything, I just want to remind everybody out there that Education Advanced has a suite of really nice tools built for efficiency for our school districts. Of course, our flagship product is that Test Hound that is in the vast majority of districts across the state. And other states as well. I'm just speaking specifically for Texas. Sorry, folks. But we also have others. In addition to Pathways, we have Evaluation, which is the educator growth tool. It's a way to document the evaluation process in the districts. And then Embark is a curriculum management and mapping platform as well that is in the majority of states across the country. So just a reminder, if there's anything else that you might be thinking about and planning for the coming school year, we would love to speak with you about any of these other tools as well. So would love to hear from you about Pathways or anything else. Want to thank you so much for coming on today. Hopefully you are enjoying some summertime, maybe some vacation this year, but make sure you reach out to any of us three if you need to about Pathways or anything else. And if you'll look at our website, there's a way you can request other things. Yeah, yeah.
There is one more question that's
Awesome.
excellent that just came into the chat, and I'm going to let Lisa explain this. Is there a way to request enhancements to the program? So, and Lisa, right on the back of that, The other question, could you freeze the top portion of the build your own report? So I'll let you answer those two. First, how to make enhancement requests, and the other, the ability to freeze the top of the build your own report.
Okay, the person who asked this question, I'm very thankful for. Yes, absolutely. We love enhancement requests. That's really like the crux of how we build our program. We love hearing from our customers and the people that we give sales demos to. So thank you for that. And yes, we also freezing the top portion of reports, freezing like the status bars, the column headers, things like that. Those are important useful features for those that are using those reports. So current customers, we really enjoy getting that feedback in our ticket system. If you're a current customer, we would suggest that you put those in our ticket system. We have a special location where those goes so that we can review them as a team and then get them into the roadmap for future enhancements. And then something exciting that we have coming in really soon, actually over the summer, is a reskin of pathways. So we're getting a new look, and with that new look comes some enhancements, just like what you mentioned here, freezing the top portion of those things. So knowing those filters are important and should be static, something like that should be coming shortly. So yes, thank you for that, and thank you for allowing us to kind of mention that to everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Good timing on that question, right?
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Okay. All right. Well, unless there is anything else, I'll give you like 30 seconds, or we're happy to stay on longer though, if you want to ask another question of our pros here on the call, not me, but Lisa and Craig, and see if we can help you out before we log off here. But thank you again for your time today. We know that your time is really, really precious, whether it's summer or not. So we appreciate your presence today. And I guess I'm happy to sit here for a little while longer. If you two are good with that, we can hang out for a minute more. It's just now 12:27, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll talk about reports for as long as we need to.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I was looking at that reskin, Lisa, I was excited about that freeze option that I saw on there too, that our users are going to get to enjoy.
I am too. There's a lot of good stuff coming in that reskin.
There really
And
is.
actually, come to think of it, we've built several reports based on user requests. We actually just recently had a new report come out based on feedback asking for, hey, we've got kids that are enrolled in a course that they've already received credit for. Can you just notify us about those things? So just
Right.
recently, just a few weeks ago, we built a new report because of that. So
That's right.
it's still got the new tag on it even.
All
Yeah.
right, Lisa, here is a very good question. I want to make sure
Okay.
it's answered before we sign off. It says, if a certification is in the SIS but not pulling into pathways, should we submit a support ticket? And then you also might can tell them there is a way to mass import certifications if.
Yes, definitely that is something a support ticket should we can go in and look for, because depending on the SIS, sometimes we have IBC files that are loaded separately, and so it may just be a matter of we need to load your IBC file, and that will be fixed immediately. It might be something along the lines of that IBC, and maybe we need to look at the code, maybe we need to look at the name of the IBC. So it could be a very, very simple fix, and it just needs to get looked at. And just like Craig mentioned, the other thing is we can also load IBCs separately from those files. But if it's in the file, we need to look at that and see what the deal is. It might just be that a button needs to be clicked and that file needs to be loaded. So yeah, submit a support ticket. We'll get right on that.
Hey, Lisa, can I make mention? Also attach that file if you have one to that support ticket. Any support ticket that you attach, our system is encrypted, so you can safely attach a file in a support ticket if needed.
That's an excellent point. Greg. It makes it a lot faster to be able to compare the files. So yeah, and it is encrypted so that it's a safe place for files to be attached.
Okay. All right, awesome questions. Love that we had some questions in today's session. So we are going to go ahead and close this out. Thank you guys so much again for joining us, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you again or hearing from you and spreading the word about Pathways as well. So let us know how we can help you out.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Thanks, Jennifer, for leading this. It was great.
Bet it was good. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you want to learn more about college and career readiness, graduation tracking, teacher growth, assessment coordination, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter. Until next time.